That's a very good question, thank you. So, physiognomy, the art of reading faces, started out in the Ming Dynasty. Then unless you had a certain shaped face with certain traits, you were not allowed at court. Now, imagine if you picked your friends based on their faces. Wouldn't that be something?
I think we kind of do.
Well, not really. See, I think most people actually base their relationships on first physical appearance, second energy. But they don't, but that isn't, you know, the physical face. It's more like, my brother had friends that were Harley Davidson biker dude tattooed up people, right? That's not my comfort zone. Not to say they're not really nice people, but that's not my comfort zone, right? And I can go from the blue jeans and working in the garden and doing all that stuff to being at the top of the mark, and I'm very comfortable in any of those environments. But to hang out with people who, you know, they might be a little shady, it's just not my comfort zone. But my brother could also go to the top of the mark. He had a much broader range than I did. He was comfortable no matter where he was, and he would make friends no matter what age or what they did, right? So he was a lot more lenient, I guess, in what he allowed himself to do and what I've always felt acceptable for me. And here's the thing. Do you find yourself judging other people?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so honest.
I mean, they do to me. Why no? Why? There's a constitution. No, I have to.
So this is something that I want you to write down, and I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
There's not one person on this earth that has earned the right to judge another person, right? So we are not entitled to judge other people, but in a snap second, we have made 10 judgments of every person we meet, whether we acknowledge that or not. There's more chairs behind there. So if we looked at people and we tried not to judge who they are, or what they do, or how they're dressed, what are the chances are that we might end up knowing more about people? Do you think? So this was a really tough lesson for me. I was living in Chico at the time, and I was only 26 years old, and I met this guy who had this really beat up old truck. And for some reason, I decided to throw caution to the wind, and I started talking with him. He had long, scraggly hair. He had dirt under his nails. But I just decided to start talking to him, and I asked him a little bit about what he did, how long he lived in Chico, how he got there. I mean, just basic conversation. And then I mentioned his name to one of the people that was at the university where I worked. And he said, "Oh yeah, Joe, you know, he's a multimillionaire." Really? That was not my expectation of a multimillionaire. But you know, most people who have a lot of money that earned it, they don't always flaunt what they have. So thinking about judging other people for their appearance or what they have or what they don't have. How many of you know about Blackhawk? My community over in the East Bay, have you ever heard of Blackhawk?
Yeah.
Do you know that when those people bought those houses, 90% of them had no curtains on the window and no furniture? But they could buy the house, but they couldn't afford anything else because it was all appearance. So which is better, living your life in a sense that you're comfortable every night and that you can get a good night's sleep? How many of you actually get a good solid 7 hours sleep?
Here's a myth.
That you should or don't?
I mean, most of the people I know, they sleep max 6 hours. It's the first time I see more people than.
So are they tired or are they comfortable with 6 hours?
I don't know. It can be the lifestyle. Can be that they work hard, or they can be they're worried.
Well, it's a really good point. If you choose to have a job where you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get there at 8 o'clock, by the time you drop the kids off, you do all this stuff, and you know, by the time you get home and you pick up the kids and you have dinner and it's, you know, now it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, the challenge is that most people don't realize, unless you have a solid 7 hour sleep at night, your chances of getting a heart attack have just gone up 23%. Right? Unless you sleep peacefully through the whole night. If you do not sleep peacefully through the whole night, you're 35% more likely to have a heart attack than not. So we didn't put a whiteboard out tonight. I'm gonna tell you, one of my websites is called Amazing Cures Series, AMAZING CURESSERIES, Amazing Cures Series. Under resources, under audio, there is an audio program that you can't get anymore, and it's called Brother Charles. It's a monk who actually went up into the hills in Virginia with the Tibetan monks and the Tibetan bowls and the water dripping off the caves. And when you listen to this under stereo headphones, you'll actually go into a delta state of sleep within an hour. You can sleep 4 hours and your body will physically feel like it had 8 hours rest. It is absolutely amazing. So what I want you to start doing is thinking about the things that are not working in your life. There is a solution for everything. So the Brother Charles CD, I bet you know at least one person who has insomnia, right? When you don't sleep well, you can actually blow out your autonomic nerve system. And then you do silly things like thinking you're gonna take a step off the sidewalk and fall, walking into walls, having minor car accidents. So sleep is vital to the restorative health of your physical body. So you look at that as a simple thing that you can do, because it's very hard to think logically when you're tired, when you're sleep deprived. So physiognomy and